Kanye West, The College Dropout, his debut album, but it's considered one of the best albums in his discography. And that's for a reason, because production on this album is actually insane. So let's take a look today at how to make a Kanye West College Dropout type beat. Okay, so first of all, of course, we're gonna start with a sample. It's the number one most important thing in the process of making a college dropout type beat. So I found this sample by Michael Jackson. It's literally perfect because first of all, we have vocal chops, and second of all, it's not so cluttered. So even if you look at the waveform right here, we've got the beginning where it's a little bit more dense. However, then we got a little bit more space, and same here, a little bit more and then a little bit less. So overall, this part right here is not as cluttered, yet it has the vocals. So this is literally perfect. Now, why is this so important? It's so important because if you choose a part that is more cluttered, then if you sample that part and you make a beat out of it, your beat will sound overwhelming. So for example, we cannot sample this part right here. Though the vocals sound really nice, there's just too much happening, and if we try to sample that, the beat would just come out overwhelming. So that's thing number one. Look for samples with vocals, but also look for sections where the sample isn't so cluttered, so you don't make your beat overwhelming. So I took this part of the sample that I showed you before, and what I did is pitched it up slightly. Usually Kanye likes to pitch it up by 3-4 semitones, but there is no rule. It's just you gotta pitch it up a little bit to give it that chipmunk sound. You already can see that I color coded it because I actually chopped out two portions. This part right here and this part right here. So what I did is I took those parts and I started rearranging them in this way. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I will create a bass that literally just follows the sample. Usually it might be hard for you to hear the bass in the sample, but what I recommend doing is just getting an EQ and just do a low pass filter. That's way easier for you to hear the bass. And you can try following that with your own bass. So I have this sound right here. So I'm just gonna follow the bass from my sample. So here's how it's gonna sound. And by the way, if you want to learn how to layer your sample with instruments, then check out Sample Academy. It's literally the best place to learn anything when it comes to sampling. So check it out, first link in the description. Right, very, very simple. So let me delete this and let's go back to our processing that we had before and take a listen at how it's gonna sound with that. Right, this makes the bass and the sample blend really well together while adding that thickness of a analog bass. Of course, you can play around a little bit with your bass. I'm gonna leave mine like this, but if you want to add some additional notes or some like additional spices, then of course you can. Next, what I'm gonna focus on is drums. There's one thing about Kanye's drums on the College Dropout, and that thing is they don't knock. I just have this snare here, which is not really a super hard knocking snare, and this kick. Right? So both of those are not really hard knocking drums. So I'm just gonna add them in like this. Right, take a notice of this kick roll right here. Kanye loves doing kick rolls every 8 bars or 4 bars. And next, I'm gonna use this hi-hat right here. So Kanye uses this trick on Graduation where first of all, if you take a look at my hi-hats, take a closer look at the velocities, is we start very high in the velocity and we just go down, down and back up. Right? So it gives that kind of swing. So that's also very important for the Kanye West sound. But what's more important is take a look at this. Those hi-hats don't play all throughout the entire pattern. They come in for 4 bars, then they disappear, and then they come in again for 4 bars, and they disappear. That's something Kanye used to do a lot to keep his beats interesting and moving forward all the time. So this is how the sample sounds with the drums. If we're talking about a all Kanye West type beat and the College Dropout type beat, we cannot forget about the bongos. To be honest, it's just very simple. I just have 2 tom sounds right here, and I just do a simple thing like this. And then the second pattern right every 4 bars or so. It's a very subtle thing, but again, it adds a lot to the Kanye West college dropout sound. So lastly, we can add some instruments like strings. So I'm just gonna add this violin right here and this cello right here. Right? And I'm gonna set one to the right ear and one to the left ear, and I'm literally gonna have them do exactly what the bass does, only in the higher octaves. The violin plays an octave higher above the bass, and the cello plays an octave higher above the violin. I do add one more thing, this bell sound right here. That just adds a little bit of spice to the sample. This is actually it. Here's how all of it sounds together. If you're serious about learning how to make crazy sampled beats, come join Sample Academy. You will get my personal help, tons of samples and drum kits, full learning resources, and an awesome sampling community. Click the first link in the description and I'll see you inside.